I'm gonna cut right to the chase. This is a review video of the OOLER pad by Chili Sleep. It is the Big Daddy, the king, and the goal of this product is to keep me specifically cool while I sleep, and Emily as well. Now, in my last video here, I reviewed the different types of sheets, blankets, pillows that I have gotten to try to keep me cool at sleep. Those have been going amazing. I definitely highly recommend the Layla sheets and purple pillow. Check out that video there. But in this video, we're gonna review the OOLER pad. In just a few minutes, it's gonna be arriving to our door. I'm gonna unbox it, open it up, put it on the bed, have some first impressions, show you the app, and then take you through what it looks like to sleep on, and after a couple days, have a full review. So here is the OOLER system in its box, about 38 pounds, a pretty big box, was delivered later today. Gonna open it up. Okay, so we open it up, has this quick start guide. Welcome to the sleep of your dreams. And then opening up the box. Whoa, a little card falls off, and here is the Chili Sleep system. All right, so here's the box's contents. We got the OOLER, the King size, so it's for a king size mattress for 2 people. And immediately out of the box, it's very simple. They had a quick start guide, which is the instructions for getting started. There was basically just a little note, selling their other products. And then, within here, we have the 2 different OOLER systems. I had originally thought there would just be one, but it makes sense that there's going to be one for each side of the bed. And then it looks like there's just one mattress pad in here. So really simple packaging, really simple stuff in the box. We're gonna go ahead and put this mattress pad on the mattress and get these plugged up and start seeing how they work. But super simple unboxing process. I appreciate that. So I have the mattress pad fully on the mattress, super simple with these stretchy straps. I mean, it fits right on. It fits nice and snug too. This mattress could be bigger, could be smaller, but it fits nice and flat. You can see I can pull it. It doesn't wiggle around on top, nice and secure. So the tubes, they can go off the top or the bottom, but we have them coming out the top, and I'm just gonna run them down through like the back of our bed. So let me just push this in right now. I was curious if the tubes would be, dangling out, hanging out, but with this pad on, the tubes are basically right kind of there going down and very flush and coming down under the mattress. So tubes aren't showing. Okay, 2 quick lessons. So I have the OOLER, one of the OOLER systems out, and it came with a more detailed instruction manual. This is why you should always read instruction manuals. Even though this said cool side and then comfy side, I read the instructions and it says to place the gray side, mattress side down. So I might have misinterpreted that. It might be okay to have this gray side up, but in these specific instructions it said to put the gray side down. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this to the other side. Another thing that I have learned is, kind of through the cord here, but also through the instructions, it's the 3-prong cord. So this does have to be grounded, meaning that I was planning on plugging this into an extension cord, but this will not ground appropriately. So it does need to be plugged into an outlet like this. So we have 2 machines, which means we'll have to do a little bit of rearranging of our outlets to make sure both of these are grounded. So not a big deal, but definitely something to note. If you don't have access to these grounded 3-prong plugs, it might just be something to consider if you're looking to get the king size or one of these OOLER systems. So let me go ahead and flip this mattress pad over and get things plugged in. So I got it flipped over, and yeah, this side definitely does look more natural for kind of like a bed cover. And I'll reiterate, super easy to put on, super easy to even flip over, easier than putting on a fitted sheet, so no issue at all there. Time to get things plugged in. So mattress pad is on. Super simple to hook up the thing. You just grab the tube, plug it in the back. It snapped in nice and easy. Took the power cord, plugged it in the back as well, plugged it into the outlet. Now it's time to fill it up for the very first time. Emily is going to work on hers over there at the same time, but now let's fill it up with, it says distilled water. I just used water out of the refrigerator. It says it takes about 30 ounces, so just gonna pour it in. Okay, here we go. It is started. The crazy thing is I think I used probably like 28 ounces of water and it wasn't turning on. It had this blinking light here. And I was not sure what was happening, and I just poured in about an ounce or two more of water and it just automatically kicked on. So I guess it has to be filled up all the way before it starts. But as soon as it hit that mark of being filled up enough, it just started going. So yeah, now it's going. I think it's filtering through. Okay, so we're both downloading our app. There's a little bit of an update that's installing. It's going really quickly though, as you can tell. I mean, up like 1% every minute, and in fact, it's almost done. All right, it's done. I was gonna put sheets on the bed, but it looks like the update's done. So we're gonna see what happens next. Screen is on, we're connected, and it's still circulating. Okay, here's a bit of the interface. I named mine Ryan's Chill Box, and you can quickly see you can adjust the temperature very quickly, and it shows both on your box, so you can adjust it here by clicking this up or down, super simple, or by sliding it on the app. So I hear that 65 degrees is a good place to start for on the first night. So I'm gonna try it there. There's also different kind of modes. So we're on regular right now. You can hear this humming, a slight humming, nothing loud, but there is a hum, a little bit of white noise, not louder than a fan, but definitely there's noise. There's silent mode, which makes it go pretty quiet. Pretty darn quiet. I don't think I'd hear that under the bed. And then there's boost mode, which I think will do enhanced cooling. Enhanced cooling at the sacrifice of being a little bit louder. So different modes there. Looking at this app, we have a schedule. I haven't done a sleep schedule yet, so I might need to do that. I'll look into that. And then there's some settings, so I haven't checked this out, but as far as the device goes, it's pretty straightforward, and it looks like this is kind of up and running. So really pleased with the setup. We're gonna throw some sheets on the bed and give this a shot, but a really easy setup process. I'm pretty pleased. We're gonna run a quick experiment. Mine's all set up and ready to go. Hers is almost ready. I'm gonna set mine to the lowest temperature, which is 55 degrees. She's gonna set hers to the highest temperature, which is 110 degrees, and we're gonna see how noticeable the difference is. I'm actually really excited to see how much we'll be able to tell that difference. So you can see that you know, we put our sheet back on, and it just looks like an ordinary bed. You really can't see a difference. There's not like tubes or anything. The only small tweak is that there's a wire coming out that side, and there's a wire coming out that side. So just crawled into bed, have the sheets and everything on. My side set to the coldest side, which feels nice. And we've only gotten it hooked up a little bit ago, so it might not be as cold as it can get, but it's noticeable. Like, I can feel it nice and cool on my back. Her side is on the warmest side, and it's definitely warmer than this side. But I think since we poured cold water into it, it's got a lot of ways to go to warm it up. But there's definitely a difference. So excited to sleep on it tonight. Oh, also one thing to note, the mattress pad is what I would call slightly noticeable to lay on. So it's definitely not something that like bothers me. But like if I really like think about what I'm laying on, I feel like I can feel the mattress pad on top of my mattress. So definitely something to note, but So far, it doesn't seem like it will be an issue. It is the morning after our first night sleeping on the Chili pad, and let me say, it was awesome. I am so excited to sleep on this more nights. Emily slept with it on hot, and since we poured cold water in it, took a while to heat up, and I slept with it on cold, about 65 degrees. And let me tell you, it was the first time I feel like in my life where I have woken up in the middle of the night and the mattress I'm laying on, the spot I'm laying on, is cold. Typically, I'm heating up the mattress, the bed, with my body heat, and in the middle of the night, I wake up and I'm trying to search for the coldest spot. But the awesome thing is that last night I would wake up and it would just be cold. My mattress was cold, and it was so nice, so awesome. So, relatively speaking, I stayed cool all night. I think I'm actually going to be bumping it down a couple more degrees, because even though the mattress kind of felt cool, I think I actually wanted a little bit colder. Emily managed to sleep all night with it on the hot side, so she got to stay nice and cozy on her side. I got to stay nice and cool on mine, which was great. So I'm going to sleep on it a few more nights. I'm going to run a few tests with seeing how long it takes to get hot and how long it takes to get cold. And also have the warming awake feature. I woke up before that went off, so super excited. It is Wednesday, and that means we have had 5 nights on the OOLER Chili pad now. And let me tell you, this thing has been amazing. First impressions the first week have been excellent. So here we have it, just on the bed right here. After 5 days, it stayed on nice. It hasn't really wiggled around. Whenever I pulled my sheets off, it kind of moved some, but it stayed nice and loose. There's a few things I wanted to comment about it. First of all, the feeling. The coldness of which I'm both getting into bed and staying throughout the night, even on some warm nights, has been incredible. This feels like the thing that I have needed for my hot sleeping for years now, and it's crazy to think that it is just now I'm finding the solution to sleeping hot at night. And the amazing thing is that Emily sleeps so cold in that both of sides of our bed sleep at 2 completely different temperatures. Hers is hot and warm. She gets in and feels nice and cozy and warm. Mine is nice and cold. I get in and feel cool, refreshed, ready to sleep. And I've been sleeping through the night, not waking up sweaty, not waking up hot. It has been amazing. And let me actually show you my sleep data. Based off of this week, my sleeps have been great quality. So typically I would average somewhere between an hour and 15 and an hour 30 minutes of both deep and REM sleep based on my Whoop data. But almost every single night since we've gotten the Chili pad or the OOLER, my sleep I've gotten more than 2 hours, around 2 hours or more of deep sleep and REM sleep each night. So even on nights I'm sleeping 7 hours instead of 8.5, I'm getting that restorative, restful sleep because I'm not waking up and overheating during the night. So my sleep quality has improved, and that has been exceptional. Now, the OOLER pad isn't perfect. It is a great product. I definitely would recommend it, but let me talk about some of the things that are not so great. So one, the price. I mean, it is expensive. We got the king size for 2 and ended up paying around $1,300. It is not a cheap system. I've seen a lot of people who get the Chili pad, which is the last version, and the Chili pad's going to run several $100s less, but it might be a better option. I've also seen people getting refurbished models, which according to people online have worked pretty well. So if you're interested, you might look online for refurbished Chili pads, and you could get that at a much better price. Now, let me talk about, a few more things. One, here it is on the mattress. You can feel, at least I can feel, Emily's not as sensitive to laying on things, which sounds weird, but there are very tiny little tubing systems going through here. I can feel those when I sleep. So if you're someone that is very sensitive while you sleep, if you can feel crumbs or bumps or things like that, just something to keep in mind is you might be able to feel these micro tubings. It hasn't affected my sleep quality and it hasn't really bothered me, but it is just something I thought I would mention because you can feel it. The other thing I'll mention is one night I woke up and there were little tiny moisture droplets that I think were due to condensation. I noticed them that one night, but I haven't noticed them since. So it's not a big problem. It's not like I'm waking up, there's water everywhere. But those little tiny droplets did show up one night. And I think it's because our room was really hot, my bed was really cold, and so there was some condensation. Something to keep in mind, but definitely not a problem or bother for me. The other thing I'll mention is the app interface, and I'll actually pull it up here. So here is the OOLER app. It has worked pretty darn well, but there's a few things that I will call out. So right now my chili pad is off, Ryan's chili box. Emily has her apps and has named her side, and so we connect. You can turn it on and super easy. So now it's on, set at 60 degrees. I can move that as high or as low as I want. Super great interface. You can put it on silent mode, regular, or boost, which will increase or decrease the temperature and noise. And then we also have our scheduling. And so I'm starting to find a schedule that works for me. It's taken a handful of nights to try, but here's going to be what I think my normal night will be. So I've enjoyed getting into my bed at a cooler degree. So my bedtime is around 10 o'clock. So at 10 o'clock at night, my pad will turn on and it is set to 60 degrees, so it's nice and cool in there. But one thing I noticed is I was waking up throughout the night getting a little bit cold, so I've set two events, one at 12 in the morning. It increases the temperature to 62 degrees, and one at 3, it increases the temperature to 64 degrees, so I don't get too cold in the morning. So the last thing is that, around 3 in the morning, it's set to go to 64 degrees. And finally, I still have it warming me up in the morning, which makes it a lot easier to go to bed. It hasn't quite woken me up like I would expect it to, but I choose this time based on each morning when I'm going to be waking up, and it warms me awake, which I find really great and helpful to get out of bed. So really intuitive app, takes a little bit of time to understand and get used to, but overall the app works really well. One thing I did want to say is that with the app, so with the OOLER, there's no remote. It's all controlled through the app or on the machine. So you can turn it on by clicking the buttons on the machine, or you can turn it on and off and control it using the app. With the chili pad, there's a remote that controls it, which seems like it would be nice. One thing is with your phone, it connects to the OOLER using your Bluetooth signal. So that's really excellent whenever you're around the room. But one thing is if you try to turn it on across the house. So, here I've walked to my kitchen. I'm about 30 feet away from the OOLER pad, and that means my phone has gotten too far away to connect to the pad. So that can be a little bit frustrating if you turn it on at night and then with your phone walk too far away. It will break the connection, and I feel like one night it's turned off and then one night it's kept going, so a little unsure there. But something to keep in mind is you can't, let's say, turn this on from your car on the way home and get your bed ready for sleeping. You do actually have to be pretty much within the vicinity, and your phone kind of has to be near the pad. So definitely one thing I thought I would mention. I think the last thing that I have to say about the OOLER is, how often you have to fill it up. So with the chili pad, I saw people were filling it up every handful of days. With the OOLER, we filled it up the initial time, haven't had to fill it up since. So here it is again, and the water looks like it is pretty high of a water level in there, and we haven't filled it up. So I think with the OOLER, you only have to fill it up maybe once every 1 to maybe even 3 weeks. And so definitely not a big deal there. It also has that automatic cleaning system, which I haven't yet used, but will clean itself, which I think is a great feature to keep it running smoothly for the duration. Another thing, I did some research on OOLER or Chili's website, and all of the individual parts for this OOLER system are for sale on their website, which I think is amazing. So if any aspect of the system ends up breaking or after years needs replacement, you can just go straight to their website and order the individual piece that needs to be fixed, which I think is great. So if a tube after time gets kinked and worn down and starts to leak or something, you can go in and order a $15 or $20 tube instead of having to need to replace the whole unit. So really love that, and it means that you can just replace parts one at a time over the course of years, and it's a lot less expensive than having to replace the whole thing. So I think that's amazing. Well, that is really it. So that is the OOLER by Chili Sleep pad, and it has been amazing. It is definitely an expensive investment, but like I've said, I think investing in quality sleep is one of those things that takes a decent amount of money up front, but will pay out in dividends over the course of the life. Having good quality sleep is one of those things that affects every single other aspect of your day and of your life. So I feel really, really happy, really satisfied with this purchase, even though it was a lot of money. So if you are in the market, if you are a hot sleeper like me, I definitely recommend looking into some sort of cooling system. Like I said, I got the OOLER pad, which is kind of the top of the line system, and therefore has top of the line dollars. But I do think that this is a great system. If you are someone that likes new technology, willing to pay a little bit more money up front, I think this will have those benefits over the long term. I do think that for most people, you probably will be able to find probably 90% of the benefit while paying maybe about half of the price for getting maybe a refurbished Chili pad or some other system that isn't quite as expensive. There's definitely some premium features with this, which I do appreciate, but for people on a budget, I think you can find systems that will do the trick for much less, and definitely recommend some savvy shopping there. But overall, 1 week on the Chili pad, it has been great. My sleep has been about as good as it's ever been. I haven't been waking up in a puddle of sweat. I've been sleeping cool throughout the night, which literally has been one of the biggest complaints in sleeping I've had for my entire life. So the fact that a product can change the way I'm sleeping like that, and I can see different results based on the first nights of sleep, has just been amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this review of the OOLER pad. I tried to make this as kind of cumulative as I could. I hope it answered all of your questions. If you do have questions about this, please leave them in a comment below. I'll be happy to answer them, or even make a follow-up video. After a handful of months of sleeping on this, I'll probably come back and give my review after I've had some time to really sleep on this and give it a run for its money. But thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it a ton, and as always, thank you for keeping it real with Ryan.